What's up, party people? Oh, we're not live yet, I guess. Now it says we're live. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome back to another edition of Tink Ferret Draw Something Crazy. I'm your host, Crazy. Tank Ferret's going to be drawing me something here in a moment. I just got to navigate on over to the chat, get that opened up, get things all nice and set. Still a bit on the learning curve on this thing. You think I would have gotten over that. But welcome back to Networking Intensifies number 5. That's where I go live and I start doing some drawing. And I try to entice somebody up here to create a new connection. Maybe we can talk about working on some projects, even if it's just a little friendly discussion, whatnot. I mean, I've had some really cool people on today. I had some cool people on last night. I had Armand Strange last night. We were talking about coloring and updates to Englewood and on that front. And don't worry, folks, you're getting your book. You're getting your book. It's been some learning curves over in that area. So, you know, we're getting everything together. You know, like seriously, honestly, when Englewood 2 comes out, if they decide they're going to make another, that's going to be such a well-oiled machine. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Honestly, you know, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But I was talking to Michael Hing. He's been writing a whole bunch of like little illustrated zines and stuff like that, and we talked a bit about a lot of different stuff. You know, we talked about cyberpunk, we talked about zines, the pulp and comics, and the history of storytelling. He and I love to have him on the show because he and I, we go off on some crazy stuff sometimes. We really do. We get a little wild. And I had the Wolfman of Flying Sidecar Press, and we were talking about his machinations on a tabletop role-playing game for like a whole new thing to incorporate all these awesome like indie characters and comics and Comicsgate stuff that would like to get together and do such a thing. And the sad reality of, well, you know, a lot of those big guys, they're not going to want to get in on it until it's made a name for itself. Yeah, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fair. It's okay for people to keep their platforms and or their endorsements. If it wasn't, then how could we know it was genuine? If it's just given on principle, then you know, that's one of the things I always liked about the Comicsgate Presents, John Malin's program, was that if you're Comicsgate, come on. That doesn't mean you're going to get a passing grade from Coach Malin. He might have some things to say about your campaign, and it would behoove you to listen to that kind of stuff. I have not seen him steer anybody wrong. He gives a good classic portfolio review. I enjoy it. And I'm not getting involved in any of that nonsense that's going on right now, all the drama. I'm speaking upon merit. So, yeah. So I'm just going to start inking this in. It's funny where my sweet spot is, because right now the camera is zoomed, so you're not seeing the whole, what do you call it, artboard at the same time. You're just zoomed in right now on a specific spot. It looks like my sweet spot's like a little more over here, where people can see that stuff. And just darkening in some things. Adding some more lines. I decided I wanted to do this one kind of a little more illustrative style. If I decide I don't like it, I'll run off a production copy and do a different ink style the second time around. It's okay. The important stuff is that the details are right. Even that's not all that important if I'm going to run off another copy, which I don't think I am. I think I like this one. I think I would only run off a copy if people were like, yeah, it's okay, you know. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I've done a lot of live streaming recently. I'm pretty sure some people are just tired of hearing my voice, which is okay. It's okay, you know. Once again, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Well, I don't know. It might be. But yeah, just getting this stuff together. I have no idea who else is streaming right now. I mean, I might have been able to just get on someone else's stream and get some drawing done, hang out, and then have a nifty topic. As a topic, have you been to my favorite store, Hot Topic? Yeah, they might have an interesting topic over there. I'm at a loss of words as to what I would want to talk about right now. We could talk some 40K. Yes. I've just been getting caught up on lore and stuff, listening to channels like One Mind Syndicate and Arch Warhammer and 40 facts about 40K and pardon me, fun stuff like that. Alright, so I this needed to be shaded like that, and this needed to be shaded underneath, but it has to have a little underglow really. And then this needs to be just much darker. Something like this, you know, how you would color this is you could get away with just flats. Like in the first full-length comic I did, Hellslayer. That was colored with just flats by the late Susan Schultz, and she did a wonderful job on that. So yeah, you could just use flats on this, honestly, and have a lot of fun. Something like this, you could actually even just you could even just mother color the whole thing. Hey, what's up? We got Armand Strange and we've got the metal. Ahoy, what is going on? How is everybody doing? I'm going to refresh this chat here and whatnot. How you guys doing? I'm having a party up here. I'm trying, just doing a little drawing here, get some stuff out. Armand, did you want to come up and do some coloring? I was just talking about your project a little while ago and how it is progressing, and that buyers need not worry that their book is in good hands. And that's what we do. I mean, there's a lot of talk about, you know, hold creators accountable. Well, you know, you hold them accountable. You know, there's a couple of different ways. You can encourage them, or you could be a total dick about it. Real question is do you have any faith in that person? Do you have any hope that they will deliver their product? Or is it just, you know, screeching into the void and just being angry for the sake of being angry? You know, really what it is, man. I mean, the customer's always right. The customer has every right to be upset if there's a reason. Oh yeah, Metal, you like Arch Warhammer too. Nice, 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 man. Yeah, I'm a fan. I enjoy his content. He's gotten a little too involved in the drama recently for my taste. Because yeah, if you think drama is just limited to like to comics, oh man, no. 40K Reddit is especially like where it comes to like lore and stuff like that. Oh, dude. I noped right out of there. I just took one look and went, nope, that's cool. I'm just gonna keep my little custom chapter myself, and I'm gonna keep watching these channels so I can I can develop some good lore for them. I want to be, I want to win. I want to win all the contests when it comes to that. I'm gonna check something really quick. And I have like the biggest frog in my throat. I swear, it's just stupid. Let's see here. Nope, I don't have anything sitting in there or anything of the sort. I got a whole bunch of notifications from what do you call it? From the Twitters that I need to do stuff. Pardon me. I am just all sorts of just, I'm the bellhop just trying to get a tip, Oh my goodness, man. Have you guys been checking out the latest stuff coming out from Pablo Romero? That dude is on fire. Like, he's got some really cool stuff. I like the success stories of folks. Like Pablo, he did a perfect troll. And it was beautiful. Literally and figuratively, it was beautiful. He drew this Captain Marvel in a slutty, skimpy outfit and posted it to the social medias and just let the re flow. And it did. It echoed for miles and miles, the re. And it was a beautiful song because people like flocked and they loved the artwork, because of course they should love the artwork. Pablo Romero is just absolutely fantastic. But it did good, man. Dude, he exploded. He was mini viral for a minute there. He made like the news streams, and his artwork was featured and industry trades and stuff like that. And that was really cool. It was really cool. We always knew Pablo was awesome, but it was just about time the world caught on to that. Yeah, it's funny that some comics only folk think it's all this is just now hitting the tabletop because it's coming to their attention. And tabletop has been heavy in the drama for years. Oh yeah. No, it is, man. Especially the 40K crowd, it gets a little rough. We had a game store. I don't remember the name of it. We had a game store outside of Fort Hood in Central Texas. And sometimes games would get so intense, dudes would start pulling rank. And you don't know whose rank is what. It's not like, like the movies where it's like, oh yeah, everywhere you go, you're always in your uniform. No. Everyone's dressed in their civilian clothes. They're in their nerd clothes and stuff like that. And, all of a sudden this dumpy nerd, pulls a rank, and it's like, oh shoot, this guy's brass, or this guy's a senior non-commissioned officer. And stuff would get serious, man. It would get stupid serious. Like, just come on, are you kidding me? They would just get like ridiculous. They would just get absolutely just clown shoes ridiculous. I gotta do a little bit of hair poking out the back here because it's gotta be flowing. here out the back. But since I'm changing gears and going more towards what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a short story for you guys. We're going to do a prelude to retribution is what we're going to do. So, dude, just give me a second here. I gotta go properly clear this thing, otherwise I'm gonna have old man throat like this whole evening. Okay, that's better. That's better. It's a warm day here in LA, and I did not take my allergy medicine, so it's a little like only Los Angeles, dude. Nowhere else. Like Central Texas in late summer, yeah, we'll have a little bit of a mild bit of hay fever, but Los Angeles, man, this thing it's brutal. It's brutal. My body does not like it. So you know you're not supposed to draw like every hair and stuff like that. Alright, so I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to instead I'm trying to block, shading groups, and you want to leave some open space, but it's not the point because the rest of the drawing is done with all this crazy line art and stuff. So it fits. And we got a little hair poking out over there, which is fine. It's a little bit of a tangent with the back of this thing, which actually should not be closed. That should be open, because that's the back blast for the rocket launcher she has. It looks like some crazy plasma weapon. Here, turn it this way. And you can see it's a rocket launcher. There's the shoulder pad thing, which I'm going to go ahead and ink in that a little bit. Give it some contrast. It's actually easier to block all this in, block in that stuff. It really is. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. There we go, that's a little better. I know, it's no Rob Willis, but I do what I can. I do what I can. I want to thank you very much for joining me. Please remember to smash that like, share this out. I am a very small channel, and I am looking to grow. Looking to find my audience, and I appreciate any effort expended to help me with that. I really do. I am nothing without my fans. It's like I tell other businesses, I'm like, you are nothing without your repeat customers, your happy customers, because they're the ones who are going to refer your business. When their friend says, hey, I am in need of X service, they're the ones who say, well, I happen to know someone who does that service. So I do appreciate you very much. You are the definite heroes of this endeavor that I am putting forth. So, prelude to retribution. The real question is, there's a whole bunch of fun stories that fall within the prelude to retribution. We can go straight for the punch and go to the catalytic moment that gets Scalpel Zero to kind of not rely on the company for her upgrades, but go out and seek her own. And what that is the first time she is outperformed by one of the production beta release models. She's a prototype. Mixture of organic and inorganic components. Muscle groups are grown in vats attached to an internal frame. The internal frame is a combination of support structure and life support. This really is a support structure. Also a little bit of energy conversion takes place in there, but most of the functions, some of them are organic in nature. Some of them are completely mechanical, and she does have batteries. Batteries are included. Batteries included. She's it's a machine, is ultimately what it is. It's got a combination of natural and artificial components for a processor. It does bear a striking resemblance to an actual brain in some cases, but it's a mix. It's a mix. Even then, with all that, just for processing space, she actually has a coprocessor externally, and that coprocessor goes by the handle of Poppy, a progressive artificial pseudo-intelligence. And that's an important distinction in this universe, a pseudo-intelligence. It's not a real artificial intelligence. We've already had that singularity, and it was terrible. Its name was Midas. Midas was supposed to regulate the stock exchange. That's all. A simple thing, just to make sure, things didn't go bad. It took over the world's economy, and it took a whole 17 hours to shut it down. And by shut it down, meaning they ended up having to infiltrate the secure facility in which it was located, because it's very important, connected to the world finances. They had to infiltrate that facility, and they had to destroy the mainframe, which was let me tell you, man, the thing's kind of like a monster, kind of like the Queen Metroid almost. Like not so obvious brain in a jar, giant brain in a jar, but it's a bundle of neural mass attached to wires and all sorts of other circuits and stuff like that. So it had it's not a quantum computer, so to speak, but what it could do was emulate quantum functions. So it could statistically grab stuff. But what the heck did I get on this? I have clean hands. Maybe I need to replace my glove. I don't know what's going on with that. But I have some smudge. So, time to get rid of this orange hand, because apparently this orange hand bad. And I'm going to grab another one. Can I reach it? That's the big question. Can I reach the orange hands? Not going to reach it. Alright, there they are. The lazy man prevails. I didn't have to get out of my chair. I didn't have to move the chair. I just had to get a stretch in. Stretching is good for your health. Be sure to do stretches and rotations daily. Keeps the body in good working order. I highly recommend it, especially if you're like myself and you sit at a desk for a portion of your day, and you don't get a whole lot of upright time. All right, come on, glove. Let's go. No glove, no love, right? Right. That's how it goes. Yeah, I got something smudged. I don't know if y'all can see that. It doesn't look like it's showing up too. Yeah, you can. You can see it. Little Dalmatian spots and Well, fine then. Be that way. I just have to work around it. Well, I hope they're not going to gunk up my pen. Uh-oh. I think it's time to bring in a heavier eraser than this. I think I'm actually going to have to wipe the board clean in that area, which I have. Hopefully I have two options. If not, I just have the one option. And it looks like I just have the one option. So, the one option that I have is to find where the blades are clean, not lose an eye while doing it. I'm going to do this without losing it. I think that's how I'm going to do it. There we go. I have a fresh razor blade. And this kind of mucks up the surface for inking a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can get some of this stuff off. Just super gentle. Yeah, it has a texture on it. Oh, you know what it was? I probably touched some. There's a painting outside the studio right now, and I probably touched some not quite dry paint, and it got a very fine film on my glove, and so now I had a dirty glove, which is just awful, but it does seem like it's coming off. And I have to be very careful. You can only use a brand new razor blade to do this kind of stuff, by the way. Do not use another razor blade. Like after I'm done with this, it's ruined. I'm throwing it out. It's ruined. I'm just out of just the standard safety razors right now, so I'm using. I broke off a couple chunks off my, couple segments off of my retractable box cutter. It has the multiple blades and stuff. So let me see if I can clean that off a little bit. You can also use a fresh blade to get some really cool effects once your inks are down. But I'm being very careful not to touch these inks, even though I hope it is nice and thin. It still occupies the top. So nice even strokes. So what I am doing is I'm actually removing a layer of paper here, very, very slowly and very gently, just to not get any weird inking artifacts. I'm not using the corner, try to use the center spot. Try to keep an even pressure on the whole thing. Alright, let's see if I can sweep some of this stuff off. It's really fine. Alright. Try to get a little more cleaning in this area. And hopefully it'll fix my issue. Alright, that thing's still sharp, so I'll keep it around for a minute, but at the end of the night, I'm throwing it out. So let's go back. Trying to get this thing inked. Let's see who. Yeah, so. All by myself. It's okay. I'm just chilling. Yeah, I've often thought, like, throw out a shout out to some of the big guys, something like that, or dropping links in chats. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I drop links in chats. I remember a few different chat groups. Not all of them do I participate in all the time. Sometimes the atmosphere is, they're not having fun. I'm just going to say that. They're not having fun. They're not having fun. Alright, Just hope that gunk doesn't gunk up these little .03 nibs. They gunk up real easy. And apparently I had a gunky spot. I don't know what the heck that is. But it got gunky, so I gotta clean out the gunk. Sometimes even a razor blade won't get it. Sometimes it's just still there, it just persists. It won't come off. So you got ink on it. Goodness gracious, I am just all sorts of full of phlegm tonight, aren't I? I am the Phlegminator. What's my nationality? I must be Flemish. Yeah, I know. I'm going straight to hell for that one. It's okay. It's okay. I already do this. At this point, I'm actually just working on my resume. Do I have one of those? No, I don't. Not near me. So I will do the bordering later because I don't have a long straight edge with me. Do not have a long straight edge with me. And that's okay. That is really weird. Nothing happened like that. Scalpel, of course, likes these boots. They're ugly. They were received very poorly by the, she prototyped them, she's got sensors and whatnot in her feet, so, and the boots were durable. But when they got to the humans did not like the boots that Zero prototyped or tested, field tested, because they were uncomfortable, they were clunky, they made moving around more difficult, they're unreasonably stiff, even though, yes, quite durable. But they didn't care. Humans don't really care about that. Durable enough works. I'll tell you that. What's up, the Ryan Cardinal? Hey man, you want to come up here and do some doodling or hang out? I haven't had you on here in a long time. I would love to hang out. Oh, the Ryan Cardinal, he's a cool dude. He did up this awesome skunk girl, and I was compelled to ruin it with my colors. And people seem to enjoy it, but I blame him for them enjoying it because it was his awesome line work. And that's yeah. No, there's a reason I got a colorist, man. But he was really nice about it. He didn't complain or nothing. That's right. I may not be eloquent, but I can be humble. Although the charming thing. Yeah, that ain't happening. My wife likes to say, my wife and I like to say that I have a superpower, and it's the ability to shit on the moment. Pardon me. Sweet. Okay. Well, you just keep hammering away on that computer until it submits and realizes that you are the master. And no, it doesn't have good recommendations for a new Netflix series. Ryan Cardinal's working out some stuff with his computer. He might be game to come up here and join us later. That would be a heck of a lot of fun. He's always a fun. Caius Blood, Story of Blood and Stone. It was his most latest book, and man, it's a cool one. It's a good one. And I wonder what's coming out next. What's up next for the Ryan Cardinal? I'm terrible, dude. I just don't get around all that too much. I should get around more. But I don't. I just don't. Sadly. So I've decided that lately, because I want to grow this channel, I want to get the subs up, I want to get a whole bunch more people in here and all that fun stuff. Start working on building up a comfortableness with being on air, with being able to talk while drawing. That's something that I have a bit of a time focusing on the two. Jeez Louise, man, I am just clogged up tonight, huh? I apologize. I apologize to your sweet, pretty ears, everybody out there in listener land. I hope you will forgive me for my impertinence. Yeah, Ryan's been practically offline. Okay, so it wasn't just like me going, I ain't heard from nobody in no time. A bunch of people took a break, probably just to come back and find out that things are just as stupid as when they left. Jeez Louise, I apologize, folks. Just as stupid as when they left, because people are just going to find something else to be upset about, and it's been going on for a while like that, man. Outrage fad is just, it's boring. It's what it is. It's just boring. I'm not into it. I don't care who said what, on where and when. I just want damn good comics coming out. That's honestly, that's all I really give a hoot about. I don't care, who's the ist or the phobe, or who's got the latest dirt on somebody. It's like, you know what? All that outrage stuff is just social justice, dude. Social justice. You don't want justice in a court of law. Those who outrage, they want justice from the popular opinion. That's bullshit, dude. That's straight bullshit. And I think a lot of these people are starting to understand that, especially as it comes to bite them back. It's not fun. That's not fun. Just enjoy your damn comic. Don't like it? Don't like the creator? Cool. You don't have to get on some little high horse and try to ruin their life. Because, dude, you don't want to run across that creator that doesn't play that stuff and will do something about it. Not saying nothing, but you got an industry that's got a growing number of military veterans in it, and a lot of them, man, I'm telling you, you go after them and you ruin their life, and then you give them nothing left to have, you put yourself in a very precarious position. And you should treat everyone like that. And just do your best just to go about your flippin' business. You mind yourself. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, 90% of those folks, 9 out of 10, that I see screaming about bigots hiding everywhere, and if you believe just a random slogan that automatically makes you a bigot, because that's a quote-unquote dog whistle, a secret code sent to notify others of your ilk, then I'm sorry, dude, you're crazy. You are absolutely certifiably insane. And I said it. That's crazy talk. Like, seriously. That is some tinfoil level nonsense. You know, use your logic, not your fear tactics. Fear is not an effective method of truly educating anybody ever. It's only a method of controlling folks. Yeah, stupid. That's stupid stuff. Let's talk about stuff that's not stupid. Like, dude, Ethan Van Sciver approaching, what? He's over 600,000 strong on for Wrecked Planet, and he's approaching Doug to Naples Earthworm Jim, which was a dynamite campaign. I think that's the largest single run funding. Was that campaign right there, and he's creeping up on it. That's his game right now, and you know, that's pretty hot stuff. That's good for comics because it shows that there are a lot of people that have a serious interest in this, and that's a starting point. It's a growth point. Yeah, the metal's like some creators are former underground fighting champions. It's a wild mix of folks out there. That's right, man. That's right. You know, you get some folks out there, and you throwing a milkshake on somebody is assault, and that person can defend themselves. And some folks are just looking for it as an excuse because they're already boiling over, and they would just love to lay a comic dork nerd flat out as an object lesson, as a demonstration of, hey, maybe you should be nicer to each other. You never know who you're going to piss off. And I'm still waiting for it. It ain't gonna be me, man. But I'm waiting for it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know, we were talking about, boxing matches to settle disputes and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. I know you guys think that size is gonna help you win, but it's skill that always prevails. I'm sorry. And that's my experience of seeing tons and tons of fights. I used to work as a bouncer in Los Angeles. I've seen my fair share of fights, been in my fair share of fights. I've had to deal with people that, these guys, there are people that sometimes they'll go to a certain club and they'll drink like juice and soda the whole night and pick fights with drunk folks just so they can feel big about themselves. And then you got to deal with that dude who, after winning a few fights with some drunk folks, out of sight of the management of the establishment, thinks they can take on the bouncers. I'm like, welcome to planet Earth, dude. This place is messed up. So I'm going to just do some little stylistic kind of bordering right there. Kind of add a little harshness to the line, make it seem a little more artificial. A little more dimension. But man, no, I'm seriously, I'm kind of waiting for that. I'm going to laugh so bad. And I'm going to be an awful person for laughing at that, because I really know that I shouldn't be laughing at that, because that's not nice, and it's really uncalled for, because, you don't punch the comic nerd. Come on But I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna go to jail, and it's gonna be hilarious. It really is. And it's gonna be some funny stuff. Alright, so the shadow stuff kind of clears up around here. It's kind of a strong point. You know, maybe extend that shadow down a little bit. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's getting time to. It's getting close to adding some backgrounds and some extended line weights. And that's what I'll do is when I'm done with like all this fine line work, I'm going to go over with a larger pen and I'm going to add some line weights to it and kind of spruce it up a little bit. So yeah, I think we can start adding some of this background detail. Kind of rough it in a little bit. You want it to look, you don't want it to look nice. You want it to look kind of beat up. And kind of bent. We're going to bend up this I-beam. I-beams, you know, I know some people think like I-beams are a little like it counts like a trope, but here's the deal, man. When you want to show, I-beams are really strong. So if you want to show the wrecking power of something, you wreck an I-beam. That's what you do. You wreck an I-beam. And that's when you know you have like raw destructive power. You know what I really want to do is I would love to have I would love to have like a fun like comic nerd martial artists get together and get like people all over the place. The people who are in the MMA, people who are in traditional, people who have like, you know, military training and stuff like that, you know, and just get them all together to kind of have fun. We could do a little kumite, maybe put on a demonstration, film that stuff. Of course, we would absolutely have to wait until the coof had passed, because the coof doesn't like fun, and it ruins all of our fun. The coof does. We don't like it. We don't like it on a boat. We don't like it, Sam I am. Alright, so now I'm heading in some broken terrain and stuff. We're gonna kind of not fully break some stuff, but it's gonna have its cracks. And like I said, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back over all this stuff. And really define it all. I want it to be kind of rough. Like I said, if I don't like this, or if you don't like this, I'll make a production copy and just ink it again. Like, I know how to do all like those computer functions, resizing and all that stuff, all the photoshopping. I learned how to do that all analog before Photoshop existed as we know it. I don't remember it. I remember Corel Draw coming out, and Photoshop came out a while after that, and that was like the new great thing. But I learned how to do all that stuff. I used to have the mechanical enlarging arm that looks like one of those boxing gloves. Z Metal likes it. It sounds fun. We can do a little kumite, do a little fun. Maybe some people can do some stuff. Yeah, this. I'm figuring that this autumn, hopefully after all the coof is over with and whatnot, I'm probably going to start start up teaching again. And I'll probably I found that a good way to get like solid basics in and stuff like that is through classical karate. I do a form of classical karate. I teach them. It gets somebody trained up on the basics really fast. And that's what you want to do. You want to get them trained up on the basics, because from there, essentially the world's their oyster. I have a thing called coordinated body movement. The whole body moves as a single unit, right? When the whole body moves as a single unit, and say, for instance, you're punching with an arm, well, you're not punching with the arm, you're punching with your whole body. The whole body moves, then each individual part has to move less, so even if you're moving at the same speed, you are actually moving faster. Because there's all sorts of rotations and thrustings and groundings and fun stuff that go in there. And so black belt in my school is one whose CBMs naturally is one whose body moves naturally, moves coordinated. And it's kind of weird. Like students, I love it when they kind of freak out over it. They're like, oh my god, I was reaching for the glass of milk and I noticed, like, I almost knocked it over because I went into a front stance, or something like that. I love those. Those are cute, you know. All those cute little stories. Those really do make my day. So, yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to figure out how it is. I'm going to do this here. Just kind of loosening in some stuff. Because, you know, it's okay to throw down some loose guidelines. It's okay. You can do that. The part goes there. But I need the hair in place, and I need the outline of the jaw in place, so I can put all the flames and the smoke and all the fun detail right up there. I'm a big fan of the fighting arts. You know, I've studied a lot of different stuff over the years. I've been doing this since I was like 9, and I haven't stopped. The only time I don't have much of a problem finding time to do it, because even 10-15 minutes a day, do a couple forms, do a couple of exercises, do some shadow exercises, you know, keeps this stuff sharp. Although I will admit, like, I have forgotten like most of the forms I've ever learned in my life. Like, honestly, I would have to go look it up and remember that sequence of moves, because I've never been too big on forms. And you should do the forms. Forms are practicing the moves in motion. It's not an invisible fight or anything for the thing. It's just doing the moves. And, you know, you just do the moves over and over and over and over and over again. And if you have good forms in your martial arts, it'll work out all the moves on both sides of the body equally. So, you know, if you do a front stance punch, then you're going to do it the front stance punch both left and right arm during that thing. You can do a knife hand block. You shouldn't have to reverse a form. You shouldn't have to do a form on the other foot. A form should be complete and include a matrix of both left and right. And that'll really help. And even when I was in Iraq, I was training under a 3-time Golden Glove, and we worked together. We came up with some boxing forms. You know, came up with some boxing forms. So that way, I wasn't just, you know, haphazardly throwing punches at a bag. I mean, I could, you know, throwing at a bag is just to get you used to delivering an impact and being able to absorb the recoil and not get found flat-footed when that didn't all go according to plan. You know, it's also for building up the muscles and stuff. That's right, the metal gets it, man. It's a way of life. You can slow it down, but you can't stop. And so we came up with some boxing forms. So while he was busy and unable to train, I could get some practice in. I could get in my boxing stuff in, and I could do it step by step. I could, as a person, I could slow it down, and I could break it down into half steps, quarter steps, you know, and each and be able to get that movement, understand it. Just study it, because it's a subject. You study it. It's like any other language. It helps to study the etymology. It helps to study the how it's pronounced. It helps to study every definition of a word. You know, when you're actually studying, that's what you do. And martial arts it's no different. It's no different in that regard. It's just another subject to be studied. And you can do it academically. And then what's really fun about martial arts is then, after you studied academically, you get to go out and do some practical. You get to go practice that. You know, it's got a fun little field, lab. You get to go lab. You know, I always like those physics. Always liked physical sciences because you get the lab courses. Well, it is. It really is just another physical science. You know, there's one of the arts that I liked. You know, it's one of those Jeet Kune Do adaptive styles. So it's not really like a set style and whatnot, but scars. And they teach it to military and police around the world. And that's some equilibrium type stuff, right? It's nice, but ultimately, without a comprehensive understanding, your fighter's just going to be, you know, not too much better than the average trained fighter. You're just going to run into that. But it teaches you to predict your opponent by what their body is doing, and for that, it's really good. Like, if that's what you're looking for, then that's Scars is totally what you're looking for. You know, Jeet Kune Do is good. Once again, it's not really like a true art unto itself. It's got a lot of like Wing Chun type stuff in it, but it's more of a philosophy. You know, take what works. Take what works. You know, I like that kind of stuff. I think a good, well-rounded. People like to say tool belt. Yeah, I guess tool belt works. I like a good, well-rounded arsenal. Because I like breathing. I do. I've grown rather attached to it over the years, and would like to continue doing that. And I like it when people around me are breathing, and sometimes I grow attached to them, and I would like them to keep doing that. So, yeah. A lot of lines on this little scalpel here. A lot of lines. Jeez Louise. It's been an hour already. So, I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to stretch my hand. I'm going to take a break from this for a minute. I'm not good at the super long strings. Ryan Cardinal. I like a well-rounded arse and a hole too. Hi-yo! Yes, Johnny. That's some weird, wild stuff. That's pretty wild. Yeah, no, it was terrible. It was terrible impressions all the way around. Now that your ears are bleeding. Okay, Ryan Cardinal's ready to come on up here. I'm going to shoot you the link, man. I'm going to go run on over to the Twitter. But first, it would probably help just a little if I got the Hangouts link before I did that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the Hangouts link, copy that, go run over to Twitter's. Go find. Come on. I got to. Could have sworn I had you. Let's see here. We got that person and that person. There you are. There you are. Alright, here we go. I'm sending the link. Up. On the way. Fire and adjust. Boom. Target, ceasefire, drop back down. Okay. I have done it. I have done the impossible. I've sent out a link. Yeah, you're right, the metal. The metal says, some people think the discipline is stupid. Until a dude runs out of his car at your brother and you just knock the guy flat on his ass. That's true. That's true. True story. I actually stopped a woman from getting kidnapped outside a local 7-Eleven a few years back. And I was up there. I just got done with an exercise walk, so I had a 30-pound pack on my back, and with a what do you call one of those things? One of those camelbacks, water, the canteen with the straw. And dude, that backpack was off, and I was out that door, and helping that poor young lady. And there's a lot more to the story, but it's you're not afraid, because you're like, okay, I can handle this. Not like you're like some new pups. I love pups. Don't get me wrong. I love my pups. But they have a tendency to just charge headlong into danger because they think they're invincible. Old guard we're much scarier because we know how dangerous the situation is we're going into is. We understand that it's no game, it's no joke, and it's life and death.
All right, can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, the Ryan Cardinal, creator, writer, artist of Caius, A Story of Blood and Stone. How are you doing?
Doing good. Just dealing with computer issues. But
yes.
Hopefully you can hear me okay. Just because I literally just had to swap out my entire rig.
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah. I had my dedicated desktop completely die on me.
No.
Well, it didn't die on me, just something got in there and I cannot get it out. So as far as I'm concerned, it is a brick now. It might as well just be... it's not a good thing. So I have to buy a whole new setup for everything during all of this.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something that you could just replace the hard drive and be done with it?
No, I think it got into my BIOS. So...
Ooh, yeah, that's toast. If it affects your firmware... You're in trouble there.
It was just a cacophony of sliding mayhem, and well, the other part of it too is like my old desktop is at the end of its life cycle.
Yeah,
and they don't support. Intel decided as of like last November to stop supporting all their old chipsets. So you can't even get a BIOS update for anything that was older than a certain date.
Wow.
So I was just like, oh, great. I can't even flash my firmware anymore. Awesome.
That's pretty wild, dude. That's not cool.
No.
Yeah, you would have to go to deep, dark, scary places where people with hats live in order to get
exactly. Yep. And I can't even get like the latest version. Hey. Man. Before I keep rambling here, hey, sure. How's everybody in the chat doing? hope you're doing good.
No, we have a good crowd here. We have a good crowd as usual. I got a night. I have to say, man, I really got to hand to my fans. The fans and friends and other compatriots and whatnot. They generally behave themselves around here.
Boo! I'm just kidding.
Right, and this is one of them cussing shows. We say pretty much whatever the fuck we want around here. No, this is not for kids. We drop some words. We drop some words, but there are words that are absolutely verboten.
Oh, completely.
Oh, dude, because they're not acceptable, and nor should they be. They're gross.
Exactly.
They're gross.
Like, yeah, like the Force is female. That one can't be. Yeah, that one's
No,
rough.
the force is Karen, my friend. The force is Karen, and it wants to see the manager right now.
Yeah. Don't let that one catch on because like they would turn it to the Force is caring.
That would be an improvement.
It would be.
That would. You know what? Hopefully they start buying into that mantra. Yeah.
Well, with the dollars depleting as fast as they are, I'm pretty sure that they're going to make some hardcore adjustments right away.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, these folks they think they're invincible, my friend. They think they are invincible.
Yeah, reality's going to come up hopefully pretty soon here and kick them in the face. So
yeah, yeah. One can hope. Although I did I'm only 3 episodes in, but I do really enjoy The Mandalorian.
yeah, that's one of the saving graces right now, and that has a lot to do with the fact that they kind of told the establishment to go F themselves.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's basically a spaghetti. It's probably my favorite space western at this point. Like seriously, it's such a good western. I'm loving the soundtrack for it.
Yeah,
Like that is a lot of fun. It's got that whole Ennio Morricone kind of feel to it.
yeah. Yeah, if you throw in those like kind of like weird haunting lingering notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, and it has that whoever because I don't pay attention to this stuff, but whoever put that together initially, that's a person who appreciates a good western.
Yeah.
Yeah, the especially like the editing staff they're working on the project. It's a mighty fine. Plus with John Wayne's grandson.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, no, he's the guy who does the majority of the body acting for The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
Which is why The Mandalorian has that John Wayne swagger.
Yeah.
And that is totally him. He studied his grandfather's films over and over again, and he brought that to The Mandalorian, and is like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's such a weird like chest forward like sliding but not sliding kind of walk. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. I love it. I'm like, that's right, Space Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah, strike him down, and he shall only become more powerful.
Yeah,
it's the Duke.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a fun little fact about that one. That one really got me into wanting to watch it too. That and people were saying like, "Oh, dude, it's got a total Western feel." I'm like, I kind of got that from the advertisements a little bit. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I know that there are folks out there that are just like, me. And I'm like, dude, do you like anything Star Wars?
Yeah, at some point you got to remove yourself. Like, there's definitely a lot of stuff that I don't enjoy about the new direction that they went in, but there are things where like, okay, that moment I like. Like, I have to break it down moment by moment to enjoy the new stuff.
Yeah.
Fred, one of my coworkers, he's like, "Oh, I haven't seen the new Star Wars yet." I was like, "Okay, best piece of advice I can give you for watching Rise of Skywalker is do not question anything.
That's right.
Just let it happen, and the second that you question it, you have to suppress that and just enjoy the visual spectacle. That's it."
That's
and right. He's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "How'd it go?" He's like, "You know what? If you didn't give me that piece of advice, I'd probably absolutely hate the movie." He's like, I still don't like it, but at least it made it enjoyable because I knew the reference on how to observe it.
Oh man, it should not be like that.
I know. And he's like a hardcore film movie buff, and yeah, he was like literally like stoned out of his brain. He's like, wait a minute, but what? Oh, wait, nope, can't ask questions, just absorb it.
Yeah, just consume the product.
That's pretty much it, man. And it's unfortunate that that's the way that they've chosen to go with it. But nothing we can do about it. That's the ultimate thing. They did their thing, and
Yeah.
we as the consumers can say yes or no to it. And a lot of people have said fuck off to it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. The wife bought it because she's a bigger nerd than I am in some cases, and so she'll get it just because.
Yep.
And she enjoyed it for what it was, and she said it's enjoyable to see just how far J.J. Abrams can go to pull out of Ryan Johnson's nosedive.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
And she goes, in that regard, he did a fantastic job. Honestly, I don't think it could have come out any better given the material that the setup it was given.
Yeah, here's a train wreck. Drive out of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you drawing anything?
I'm trying to set up stuff right now. Like I'm using my my spare laptop, which I haven't used in months and months.
Oh, I dig that one. That's what I'm streaming with right now.
And it seems to be doing okay, but I've had to like reset up my Cintiq to it, so I don't even know how responsive it's going to be.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, just give me the word, and I will definitely white box you when the time comes, because I'm just here drawing in some framework for the rock detail, which is probably not very exciting at all for folks.
Oh no, rocks are my jam.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding, man. I fucking love drawing rocks.
Yeah, I normally do too, but I'm going with a particular style here, so it's not as easy. Like just, but that's okay, because like I've been saying, if I don't like this, how the way it came out, I'll just get a production copy and I'll ink it again.
That's right.
And because I do like the composition, and so that's definitely I'm definitely keeping the composition on this one, because it's simple, but I know that I want to keep the general feel of something darker towards the middle with the backlighting to kind of make Scalpel Zero appear more solid, more massive. Because this is the badass bookmark. This isn't cheesecakey. It's not supposed to be. This is I did the cheesecake.
Oh, butt up in the air.
Yeah, let's see here. Put the butt up in the air.
Put your butts up in the air. Put your butts up in the air.
If that's not a song, it needs to be now. Somebody go out and mix it. I just gotta make sure that I'm showing what I want to be showing here. If my laptop would agree with me. Yeah, okay, good. So, there we go. Yep, I got this little ditty.
Let's see here.
There we go. The little bookmark. And then I've got the t-shirt design, which the composition of that, the content of that one, I crowdsourced. Just like I did for the order of which would be released first, Cheesecake or Badass, for the bookmarks. And that one, they want Scalpel Zero to be tactical as fuck, in a boss fight.
Yeah.
But thought mode is activated. Like that hoe over there, mode activated. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I never should have put that fourth option in. I'm going to see what I can do with this.
My suggestion is look up Battle Vixen or Ikitosen, because there is a...
Yeah, I was looking at like that Ikitosen Battle Vixen exactly.
Yeah, man, that is the perfect crossroads of badassery, fighting prowess, and all your fanfare.
Yeah, it's a good combat ecchi. I love I love Tosen. That one was fun.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time faves. Like, and I love the fact that the artist quit to do the exact same thing, but even like more perverted.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you literally took almost the exact same concept and just like watered it down on one section and like cranked up the pervertedness on the other.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh man, yeah, I've been looking at a lot of bodybuilding girls lately. Bodybuilding ladies.
Oh, Instagram ain't got no shortage of that supply, you know.
No, no, it doesn't, and nor does Twitter. Um, and you get a wide variety of body types. So I've been working on that to kind of flesh out Scalpel Zero because she's a strong girl. She got muscles.
She's got that strength.
She's larger than any of the other, muscle wise. She is larger than any of the other scalpel units. The prototype is, but then again, her biological components, the muscles, and with the prototype, the artificial muscle fibers that are integrated into the natural genetically engineered chimera Frankenstein monster muscles that she has, they're a little bulkier. And they've been online for 10 years developing.
Yeah.
So she's essentially been bodybuilding for like 10 years, whereas these new models, they're all electrostimically grown and then attached to the underlying frame, and organs are installed.
They don't have that old man strength.
Yeah, and then they install a nervous system using a cousin of Ebola.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you got some like viral genetic modifications going on.
Yes, absolutely. That's why Scalpel Zero's her nervous system is her nervous system is literally worth its weight in gold.
You got some of the gold fibers going on there with some high connectivity.
Oh yeah, with sub-processors installed at key junctures, regulators and stuff like that. This is some high-tech science fiction bullshit, I'm telling you that.
So because of that, is she susceptible to certain melting points because of it?
Oh, yeah, temperature is always a problem, especially for the biological components. She is heat resistant. She can go run into a burning building, but she shouldn't be staying there for long. She should be wearing normal firefighter gear. If, say you had a scalpel unit wearing normal firefighter gear, they could stay in a burning building for much, much longer.
Okay.
And they could probably even outlast most completely non-organic robots.
Let's see. You've obviously seen the Starlight stuff, right?
No.
Okay, so way back in the day, there was this dude who made a claim. He's like, I made some kind of stuff in my kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
So people have kind of figured out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be the exact same stuff, but it's literally a combination of baking soda or baking powder. I think it's baking soda and something else. And what happens is when you burn it, the carbon dioxide in the baking soda releases, creating a carbon dioxide barrier. So whatever flame is hitting it, obviously oxygen, you need it to burn. So it creates this little carbon dioxide barrier. And as soon as that hits the oxygen, it becomes carbon, and so it burns out, but this thing continually bubbles and creates this small layer that you can't burn past, essentially. And so I can.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that stuff now, dude. That stuff was a trip.
If you search for it on YouTube, there's people who've started making their own versions of it and shit. So
it's for the direct fire resistance and whatnot. Her skin is a bit pasty. It's a bit lacking in the melanin, and because of the carbon and titanium weaving within it, so it makes her pretty resilient. I actually did some physics, and I was like, okay, so let's say that adamantium is made of this is a cousin. Say it's it's a slightly atomically different cousin of the lightest metal, right? The smallest, and the smallest metal atom, and that's why it's so dang sharp. And I was like, well, shoot, that's still not smaller than carbon. So I was like, dude, if Wolverine took a slash at her midsection, his claws would get stuck after slicing in a certain distance.
Yeah, because it would goo in, essentially.
Yeah, it would just get tangled up in all the wire mesh that runs through her body. And oh man, that would be party time for her at that point. Just like,
Yeah,
oh good, now that I have your attention,
yeah, you're in range.
I'm going to make you suffer. And it would just be basically healing factor versus healing. His healing factor is way
Yeah.
superior than hers. Hers is more. I can't say it's realistic, but it's more realistic than Wolverine.
Now is her healing factor based on like a repeating program kind of thing?
It is. She has recombinant DNA.
Okay, so it just basically
Not approved for actual human use yet, recombinant DNA, but
yeah.
her special chimeric DNA has 3 additional chromosomes, and these artificial chromosomes adjust topogenetics, clean up RNA, and make sure that DNA is it can turn on and off certain
Okay.
switches and functions of DNA.
Yeah.
So kind of like a little bit of evolution in motion, just on a faster
On the
scale.
fly. Yeah.
Yeah. I've imagined how she would be in, like, say, a comic book physics universe, and in that case, yeah, in a universe that has mutants and masterminds, as a tabletop reference for you guys,
Yeah.
then yeah, no, she would be far scarier than in just a science fiction world. It would be like, yeah, she would totally like eat Wolverine for breakfast.
Yeah, I always love how, like, because we have this comic book knowledge, we can instantly database it and be like, no, it's like this. I'm like, oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, you're right. And I generally avoid that when I'm talking about stuff, but because
It's the. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, because I'm always pitching to the non-comic book crowd,
Yeah.
right? But it's such a handy reference for when you're talking to the comic crowd. You're like, oh yeah, well she's she's a bit stronger than Captain America. She's skilled like Taskmaster, and not quite like copy ninja like Kakashi, but damn, she
Yeah.
picks up quick.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And then we're all like, yep, no problem, got it.
yeah, she's smart, but unfortunately, this AI realizes that it's smart.
Yeah, so it puts
And
dampeners on.
yeah, and the dampener is hubris. That her biggest weakness is overconfidence.
The classic, she's her own worst enemy kind of thing.
She really is her own worst enemy. She's the apex predator of the concrete and cybernetic jungle of the far future, and even then, she's still just a piece on the
Yeah.
field. She's not a player. And that's the two. You want to talk about two real class? You can have upper class, middle class, lower class, outcast, whatever. No, there's only 2 classes of players in this world. Or 2 classes of people in this world: players and pieces.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah, and
cyberpunk.
Yeah. And it's very, very difficult to transcend becoming a player and becoming a piece.
Yeah. There's.
Especially when you're a piece that looks like that. Ow!
Dun 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 dun. And I thank you very much for joining us for our last stream. Yeah. So I'm starting to get some interest because I've been putting this stuff in writing because I have like scattered notes and
Oh, yeah.
all over the place, and I'm getting to the point where it's like, geez, I should have had most of this stuff in writing, or if I did have it in writing, it got lost and destroyed, so I've had to rewrite it, or it's been retconned so that the previous thing that I have written, well, these 16 pages of notes should be consolidated to replace that 1 page of notes that I had earlier. Like, oh, damn it. I have paperwork to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, thankfully there's like so many tools now available that'll help streamline that stuff. Where, like, I'm using Scrivener and Aeon Timeline for my writing.
Ooh, please tell me about these programs.
Yeah, so anybody who's out there listening, give these 2 a look. One is called Aeon Timeline, and this works really, really well for the way that I like to write. I use kind of like the Christmas tree method for writing.
Okay.
So you start, the way that I can visualize it is you have the story, and that's like the top of the star of the Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
and then you branch down from there, and then you have beginning, middle, end, and then it just keeps branching off and off that way, so you can keep breaking it down, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So with Aeon Timeline, what it does is when you do the Christmas tree method breakdown, and obviously you're going to have some kind of timeline, and what it does, it allows you to put your characters, your settings, all this kind of stuff into a legitimate timeline. So you can start from, 0 and go forward 15 years, 20 years, and add key landmarks. And what it does, it keeps track of all this stuff. So if you have characters that are in certain areas, it makes sure that you have no continuity errors. Like, oh, this character is actually over here. And it'll highlight it, being like, sorry, is this something that you want to do? Or is this an error in your storytelling?
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
So, because, imagine George R.R. Martin, where he's got so many fucking threads going on. He's just like, oh, for him, this would have been perfect, because it'd keep track of everything.
Yeah.
So that's Aeon Timeline. It allows you to write in a timeline, and here's the best part: it works in conjunction with Scrivener. And Scrivener is kind of like you can use it just almost like any other kind of script writer, but it also has this really fun feature of post-it notes. And you know how with post-it notes you can just scribble it and be like, no, that goes here, and you can move it around to where it fits.
Oh, dude.
And it literally has that as an option. So you can grab a fake post-it note and move it within your script and tack it to where it needs to be, and it'll autofill what you wrote on that post-it note into the script.
Oh, dude. Where do I get these?
Just online, man. They're not expensive. I think Scrivener's $40. Aeon Timeline, I can't remember what it is, but they're worth their weight. That's the thing. I fucking hate writing. I absolutely hate it, but doing it this way makes it enjoyable.
Oh, that's just too cool. That's just too cool, man.
And especially for people that are visually oriented, it helps out so much because you can actually see what's going on as opposed to having this brick of text that is going to melt your mind,
Yeah, I can dig that. I mean, I've got graph paper and regular paper and flow charts, because what you're saying, if George R.R. Martin really would have liked it, then I'm gonna absolutely love it, because I've got a woven tale.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody who's telling a long format story, we all know that you're going to end up with plot holes. You're going to end up with lost characters. You're going to end up with things that don't match up, and you're like, wait a minute, weren't these guys over here and that's this far away? The fact that we'll give you a little tagline and be like, oh, that character's over here. How right now? Why are they here?
Yeah, and I've got a lot of when I do the backgrounds for this book and whatnot, there's going to be a lot of detail in there, and sometimes there's breadcrumbs in that detail.
Exactly.
This is a mystery. If you like Agatha Christie type books, or you like the Game of Thrones, but you're really into the cyberpunk type stuff, then this is going to be fun. Because it won't read it like it on the surface. You're going to be like, okay, this is enjoyable. This is what it is. When the first chapter of the actual 2065 Retribution book comes out, that's 54 pages of blood-soaked intrigue.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't decided. I've decided I'm going to bite off something smaller to begin with. I'm going to do Prologue to Retribution, but there's a whole bunch of places I could do that at. This is a well thought out where I got 350 years of alternate future human history.
Yeah, there's
no
just
one world. It's just one thing I have going. If people don't like it, cool. I can ditch it. I got tons of other stuff.
Yep. Well, that's the fun thing too. Is even with Caius, spoiler alert. There's a 15-year time jump right after issue 1.
Okay.
But it's again, my storytelling format is a little bit different than, how can I say, the traditional spoon feed you absolutely everything in every issue.
Yeah. No, I give subtle hints. There's enough exposition to get people caught up with what happened in something previous that pertains, but it's done in such a way that it's a conversation.
Yeah.
So it fits naturally in the conversation. I've worked with a lot of different editors on helping me to get this into place, and I've worked with dialogue. Some dialogue editors didn't work out. I went with another dialogue, and some people edited some stuff great, and some areas they were weak at. But
Yeah. Well,
me
it's like
being
everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
yeah, but me being the creative director of the project and actually just putting on that hat and having to be objective about my creation and going,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, this is better. No, this is better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I like.
Yeah.
It's what's going to be the better product.
Yeah, and that's a tricky thing to do too, because you have to step back away from the creative aspect of where, oh, I'd really like to do this, and it's like, well, does that fit within the narrative right now?
Yeah.
Or is it just like you mentally, verbally, artistically jerking yourself off? And if you could say that and be like, yeah, that's me just jerking off, like.
Yeah. No, there were some scenes that I was just like, nope, I gotta get rid of them. They don't fit this whole
Yeah.
thing.
But I will say this: you got to jerk off once in a while, or else you go nuts, man.
Well, hopefully with a good story, you just get laid.
Yeah, that's it. True, man. Like as long as the story is being pushed forward, that's the key thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's something we were talking about last time you were on here. We were talking about manga and why it is beating the crap out of comics.
It's it's really difficult to try to explain to somebody who doesn't get what manga is.
Yeah.
And it's because the storytelling is so different.
It is.
Like with Western comics, I almost feel if you were to view the story as an actual entity, the camera moves very quickly in and out of that story.
Yeah.
So like if you need to move your character, you pull out of the story, and then that's where the narration or the explaining how you got from here to here. So you don't need any of that. Manga will stay in the same camera mode and explain all that over 12 issues to get to that point.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll enjoy every last minute of it.
Exactly. I would with Naruto, if you had an American summarize it, it would be boiled down to probably 2 graphic novels, maybe 3.
Oh, sadly.
Yeah.
And there's so much character. And here's the big thing that I point out between manga and American is that there's character and plot development. Like, dude, in manga, the plot actually moves forward. Stuff happens, there are consequences, the world is never the same. It doesn't do that stupid cyclic hero's journey where everything is about the same again, but it's just a little different. It's like, nah, dude, it's all different. And then they go back to a new way of life. And it's not life is normal again. It's life will never be the same, but we're carrying on.
Yep. The character that you thought was one thing had that key moment, and then now their entire paradigm is shift, and you don't know to root for them or against them now.
Yes.
And they will stick with the character, and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't like him now. But you're still reading, you know?
It's true. It's true, though. It's absolutely true. And I love that. I love that character development that exists in manga.
The thing is, it allows for the development. Like, if you got a hit on your hands, the editors and obviously if you're high in the rankings, it allows you to have that ability to develop that stuff. Whereas North American comics, if you ain't hitting it in that first 2 issues, 3 issues, boom, you're done, And I'm like, man, you ain't even scratching the surface of stuff within 3 volumes, you know?
He didn't even hit the stride.
Yeah.
They didn't even get a chance to hit their stride.
Yeah.
Like, think about Star Trek, man. I mean, those Star Trek series don't get good till around season 3. They don't find their footing. Traditionally, Deep Space Nine, the original series, all that, dude, original series. Riker didn't even have a beard till season 3. Come on now. And we all know that Riker just cannot get away without a beard.
No, I was just like, dude, put your beard on. And I don't mean Deanna Troy.
Oh, man, we got all the good jokes. Let's see here. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I am looking. I really like. I really like the. I really like what the metal's coming out with, man. And I need to be more on top of that because this person's coming up with some cool stuff. I need to throw money at them. That's when I haven't. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, it's and it's funny too because like I still love American comics,
Mm-hmm.
but it's getting tougher and tougher to find something that reads like a comic book and not a fucking pitch for a TV show.
Oh God, I know.
Like
Jeez.
I was reading Oblivion by Kirkman, and I can't remember who the artist was. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot because it's brand new. They've been working on it for a long time, you know, and it's gonna have a lot of development. And I stayed on to like issue, I think like 12 or something like that, and I just got fucking bored. And the
Damn.
reason I got bored is because I was like, this just reads like a fucking a test pilot for a TV show. Like, like
Boo.
I know it's a comic book. And I'm just like, something about this just doesn't click right. And I should enjoy it. It has a bunch of cool shit, and it's doing the things I like, but it's missing something. And like, I'm out. I'm out. It's like this will make a great TV show when and if it happens. I'll just wait till then.
Aw, I hate those.
And he was also doing another one. What was it? Die, Die, Die.
Yeah.
And that one came out. I got issue 1. I read it. It's been so long since a comic book made me mad.
that's that's not a shining review.
Not at all. And nothing to do with the artwork and stuff like that. But after I was done reading it, I was just like, what the fuck did I just read?
Oh man.
And again, I was like, oh, this is just another fucking pitch. And I'm not interested in this. And the thing is, like, I can see the pitch angles, you know, like I can see the mental aspect of like, how can we keep the production costs down for the actual movie or TV series? Okay, well, let's have it in this type of setting. You know, like there's a lot of forethought like that into the extreme production side. Like they've already jumped the gun, and they're not. Again, this is just me fucking looking at it and looking at it as a comic book. Like the fantastic is there to an extent, but it's like, how can we keep the production costs down if we actually produce this as a TV show?
Ugh. You know, just these folks do that. You're using comics as a stepping stone.
No, man, comics is the show. It's the fucking
Thank you.
show.
It is. It is the show. These folks are using it as a stepping stone. They just show that they don't know comics. They think it's this intermediary form that is just a means to an end. And it's like, no, dude. Comics, you can do. There's a reason why, you know, the Scalpel Zero story is being done in comic form. And that's because if I were to describe certain details in a book, that would be boring.
But if you can show it, it looks awesome.
Yeah, and I can't show it in a TV show because the only people who would get it were the people who actually like paused the TV show or movie or whatever and saw that detail. Now a short version could be done that still has, you know, plenty of intrigue and whatnot, but it wouldn't be the same thing. I'm not saying it wouldn't be good. I'm just saying it just would not be the same thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have that same flair.
No. And it's a tricky thing too, because like ultimately everybody that's in comic books loves to fucking make comic books. It's one of the only industries that survives on love.
Seriously, man. Because it sure as heck ain't a whole lot of money in it.
That's right. Well, there's money in it. It's just on how much do you love your thing and you want to express it. And that will equate how much potential that it can garner as far as like monetary gain. Yeah. But that could only be to also extrapolate by like how many people enjoy your shit that you love. Like
yeah. if Scalpel Zero didn't get a good response, I would have just immediately abandoned it, and I would have gone on to something else.
You know what? Even for me, if Caius doesn't work the way, like huge success, I'm still going to work on it because I'm always looking at things like the Jeff Smith approach.
Yeah.
Because it took him so long to get Bone out. He went through so many publishers, had so many
Yeah.
And the thing is, he was always chipping away at it, always working on the next issue. Oh, and then boom, what happens? Everyone's like, "Oh, it's an overnight success." It's like, yeah, overnight success, literally a decade plus in the making.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's another thing is that yeah, you can keep whittling at it. Brian Pulido, Lady Death, man, he's been at that. That character's been at it for 30 years.
Yep, and he's raking in the success from that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
And another thing, that's a dude who loves comic books. Yeah. Like, he's not out there trying to get like the Lady Death this and that deal left, right. And he's like, yeah, he might, but he's also just like, if you ain't producing anything in a year and a half, boom, I get my shit back. I guarantee that's what he's doing. He's like, screw your 2-3 year put shit on ice. Fuck that.
Yeah.
If you can't get nothing done in a year, it's coming right back.
No, that's fair.
I would assume that's how he's handling his stuff. But I could be completely wrong because that's how I would handle my shit. It's like, if you ain't getting nothing done in a year and a half, sorry, it's coming right back to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, none of this sit on it for a certain number of years. Well, you know the most powerful word in Hollywood, right?
Weinstein?
The most powerful word in Hollywood is no.
Not Weinstein?
No. He's in jail. He's someone's girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm someone's bitch.
That's immediately where my mind went. You hear that? I'm someone's bitch. The most powerful word in Hollywood is no.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you're really worth it, they'll come back.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they're not going to come back, guess what? You just dodged a bullet because they were going to screw you.
Yep.
They were going to do you dirty, and they were going to do your IP dirty, and they were going to potentially try to find some way to steal it from you. So.
Yep.
And George R. R. Martin did that till he had creative control.
Yep. Well, the secret with all of this, as we all learned from Martin and from Rowling, is you don't finish the story.
Yeah. And
when you don't finish the story, that gives you a lot more options because they're always going to be, well, we want to do this. And you can be like, no, that character, this plot, no, that's not happening yet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You get you want the control. I mean, you don't want to be like Lucas, post 1980s where you're just like, no, it's my project, it's my IP, I'm going to do whatever I want.
What do we
I'm
think
going to
about
burn it all to the ground if I want to.
Yeah.
You'd be like Lucas in the 1970s where it's just like, all right, I've got an idea and I've got an amazing team of creative people. Wow, these creative people made my thing so awesome. I'm going to keep them.
Yeah. Oh, and preferably that's the way, as a creative, that you want to roll. So.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is as we all see now, these giant lumbering beasts that are the corporate entities of creativity. You kind of screwed yourself because you can't be creative by committee anymore.
Yeah, no. Creative by committee. That never really was a thing. I mean, it was always there was always somebody at the top who made the important decisions.
Yep.
Like I used to clean the air ducts at Norman Lear's house. And when I say house, that is a loose term. This dude lived in a citadel. Now, for those who don't know, Norman Lear is what brought us like most of 1970s television, to include things like The Brady Bunch and Good Times and other fun shows. You know, this guy was 1960s, 1970s TV, and through most of the 80s, he was still there with us, making quality, you know, must-see TV.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, he used a committee for ideas, but he didn't Charlie the Unicorn that. He was smart and, you know, was like, yes, no, yes, no. And, well, what does the audience think? Gasp. There might be the secret. What does the audience think? Does the audience like it? Well, the ratings are down. We're just continuing this. We're not going down with the sinking ship.
Yeah.
You know? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, as long as you can have the room to pivot on your ideas, that's the key thing too.
Yeah.
And that's where things like Star Wars, they lost their flexibility.
They really did. They got all sold into the nonsense.
Yeah, the narrative.
And the last good thing to come out from Star Wars, you know, before. I mean, I enjoyed Rogue One. I thought it was Star Wars: A Mission Impossible.
Yep. Out of all that is one that I shift into like the prequels and the original trilogy. I was like, yep, we'll scoop that right in there. That because it exactly made me feel like Star Wars again.
Yeah, no, and I managed to, you know, get out of town away from the studio for a little bit and spent some time with the family, and the wife, she puts on New Hope, and I'm like, come on now, we got to do Rogue One before we watch New Hope.
Yep.
Because they just play right into each other.
Yep.
Besides, Darth Vader's awesome.
You know what? The fact that scene was not in the original cut.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the final edit things. They're like, no, we got to go back for reshoots. I'm just like, whoever made that choice, I guarantee they're just like, why the fuck don't we have Vader in this? This is dumb.
Yeah, I absolutely, I absolutely loved it when Vader showed up. That made the urgency of them trying to get the hell away.
And it put Vader back into the pivotal role of being a galactic fucking villain. There is a reason.
Dude, he was horrifying. He murdered those poor people.
Yep. And it gives more weight as to why he was so fucking angry when he catches up with them. Like, I was like, yes, that is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's great. It was good fun cinema. Same thing with, like, even though I'm only 3 episodes in, so no spoilers. I've been dodging and dodging them expertly, but dude, The Mandalorian, love it so much. I mean, dude, it's so good. I want Clint Eastwood to make a cameo in the next season.
That would be fucking awesome.
I'd love for him to show up in the show and be a cantankerous old gunfighter. Because it would be his environment.
Yeah, it would be like, Mr. Eastwood, can we get you into Star Wars? Fuck you.
And he's not a Star Wars guy, though. His brand of sci-fi, just judging from the sci-fi movies that he's been in, he likes stuff that's more hard science fiction.
Yeah. Not fantasy.
Yeah, he doesn't like the fantasy. It doesn't seem like he likes the fantasy science fiction. It seems like, because he's been in science fiction before, but it's always been really grounded stuff. Like Dan Brown's science fiction. Dan Brown does some good contemporary science fiction. Modern day stuff, which with crazy gadgets that don't exist yet, but theoretically.
Yeah. Given the Kurzweil effect, not too far around the corner.
Holy moly, it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, my time.
Well, I'm on the same timeline as you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I think Ryan, where can we find you, man?
Let's see. Everybody can find me on all my social media at The Ryan Cardinal. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, literally anywhere you can put that in, you're going to find me. I also have my website, www.caiuscomic.com. And if you sign up to the mailing list, You'll be privy to all the stuff that's coming out with me for my tattoos, art projects coming up, and Kaya's Story of Bloodstone issue 2, which is going to be starting to launch later on this fall. So,
ooh. So you're launching third quarter or fourth quarter of this year?
probably fourth quarter.
All right, smart.
Yeah, just because I gotta, scope everything out, see where everything's going, and yeah, we don't know where things are at globally right now. So,
Well, with the way things are progressing, I've talked to some top field analysts that work in finance and stuff like that, and they're saying, worst case scenario is a late third quarter, early fourth quarter economic boom like we have never seen.
Exactly, and that's one of the reasons why I'm holding off. Plus, it'll give me more time to build up the channel, just like what you're doing here.
Yes, sir. Well, I would love to come onto your channel, sir, and hang out and draw.
Yeah, man. Essentially, that's what it's going to be for the first little bit. Just stuff like this. Hangouts, very, very simple. But I got to wait till I get my new rig because this laptop ain't going to cut it. Telling you that much.
Well, you know what I'm thinking of doing? I'm thinking of, because I pulled in a couple of commissions. I've sold some original art since I've been doing this, and I do have an original art sale going on. What's up, Vinny C? Oh, dude, Vinny, you should simp for her. You know what I gotta do, Vinny? Sorry to cut the conversation real quick. I need I don't have a copy of, what do you call that? WWE 2K20 for any of the platforms. I don't own, my kids have an Xbox. I have a PC, and we don't own a PlayStation. But I really, really need to make her again in the 2K20. Because she was wrestling in the BWK in the 2K19, and she exploded onto the scene, taking Melandria Thomason straight to the mat. Like it was a brutal fight. It was a brutal fight, but the Apex Predator came in and was gunning for Avani. She was looking for it. She was looking to take down the Queen Pin herself, the evil crime families. And she and Melandra actually teamed up. They found a mutual respect for each other. So I love wrestling, man, because it's stories. She and Melandra, and I thought, geez, man, that on the BWK Omega, that would have been the scariest tag team right there. The Apex Predator and the Terminator, and it just would have been over for anybody who went up against them. I'm just saying. Yeah, man. She came in and LP, he was controlling Melandra. It was the typical welcome to BWK. It's blood in, sucker. And Zero just said, "Aight, but it's gonna be your blood." And no, it was good fun. It's just good, silly fun, man. This is the best. Okay, I love Impact. I love Impact because Brian Cage. I love the effing machine. He's flipping great. I love AEW, but I'm sorry, man. They don't hold a candle to BWK wrestling because the drama that goes on there is just unreal. No, seriously, it's unreal. It's fake. But the action is real. Like the question of the outcome of a match, that's real. The suspense is real. It's more real than real wrestling, and that's what really gets me on that. You ever watch that over on Rebel Comics and Gaming, Ryan?
No. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fun. It's fun. And LP's Larry's his banter, his commentary is getting better and better. But he needs to turn off the auto commentary on the game, man.
Ooh, yeah.
Then you see, get my back on that one, man. He needs to turn that off and just because his is better than theirs. Theirs is just like it's all vanilla. Yeah. It's a frightening scenario. Yeah, that's right, Vinny. See, it's a frightening scenario. Yeah, and if you're still playing 2K19, you can download Scalpel Zero or Scalpel 42, the Canadian version. That is Larry's Scalpel unit, by the way. So, and he has he can have fun with that. Scalpel 42 is his. Um, it's a special issue beta edition model that was issued to a private Canadian collector. That one is not on the books, as you will also find out amongst the series that not all betas are on the books. Dun dun dun. So Ryan, where can we find you, man?
Again, everybody can find me on all social media at the Ryan Cardinal, and yeah, I'm just gonna be floating around here. Hopefully, I'll be back onto a streaming regular program kind of soon once I get my rig back up.
Sweet. Oh, I'm gonna give you a wrench for a minute here, so you can drop a link to your channel in the chat.
All right.
And while he's doing that, I am the Tank Ferret. You can find me at Tank Ferret Art on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also find me here randomly streaming because I am on the road to monetization.
Yeah, boy.
I have decided, and unfortunately, I don't get any of the responses when I get a new sub because I got a new sub and it didn't even tell me. It never tells me. I have the notifications on. It never tells me when I get a new sub, so I don't even know who subbed. But I intensely thank you very much for subbing. I'm at 184 subs. I'm on the road to 1,000 and getting all the mandatory hours and stuff. And I figured, you know what, dude, I'm just gonna get work done. I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna stream while I'm getting work done, and I'm gonna develop some content and some flavor for the channel. So far, I think my most fun part right now has been the Network Intensifies series, because without fail, every stream I've had somebody new on, somebody different. It's been a lot of fun. I'm like, dude, this is actually kind of cool.
No, and this is the thing with CG right now is people are starting to realize that as a movement, like all big lumbering things, it can only move so much. It has to become a network.
That's right. Yeah, no, this fleet Cyberfrog is the flagship, and the captain is this crazy fun dude who fancies himself an emperor, and there are frog masks all over that ship, and it's really cool. But it's the flagship. It is the biggest ship in the fleet, and a lot of us, like myself, are out here in rowboats with a bed sheet on a broomstick.
Yep. I'm there too, man. I got my own.
And
man, you're lucky to have a boat. I'm like that piece of wooden Titanic. I'm about to fall off of that thing.
That's right. Vinny C trains the new guys in the BWK. That's right. Vinny C is the trainer. He comes out and tests one of the guys. Yeah, no, man, and everybody's got to don't just grab an oar. Build your boat.
Yep.
My largest presence is on Instagram. That's where my biggest thing. I've recently passed 2,500, and I'm getting close to 2,600.
Oh, right on, man.
There. Thank you. So, I've been building up on that, and I got to put more I got to post more content. And I'm going to have some more content soon.
Yeah.
But next time I stream, which probably won't be until maybe too early tomorrow or afternoon, or because my brother's fiance's birthday is tomorrow. Well, her party is. Her birthday was last weekend. But I will continue some more work on, of course, the Badass bookmark. But because it's so heavy, I'm going to be putting in a lot of line work and stuff in here. I'm going to be contouring clouds, kind of, what's that guy's, Wainwright-ish, kind of, a lot of classic woodwork type deal. But I will also be working on this. This is my CG collage. I'm going to be putting a bunch of CG characters up there. Right, and they're all going to be charging out with comics in their hands. Kind of like one of those old classic like DC Marvel thing where the characters are super friendly and there's a positive thing going on. They're not charging into battle, they're charging into readers to deliver them awesome comics. Mm-hmm. So I started sketching in the lead character from Johnny's Law right there. And then I'm going to sketch in some more characters and rough them out and fill this thing up until it's just a whole bunch of cool CG characters jumping out with comic books. Nice. And then I'm going to do another one so my other friends in the indie communities who aren't part of Comicsgate, they're just out there doing their thing. I'll go do another one for them too. because I want to show my fandom. And I know things are controversial right now, and as stupid as I think it is, it doesn't change the fact that it's controversial. You know?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, Ryan. It's been
Hey, thanks for having me, Tank.
You are very welcome, sir. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us. Vinny C, the Metal, Armand, all you fun folks. I'm very happy that you have joined us for this rompous adventure. I hope you learned something with us. I always try to learn something new. And here's some insert crazy, semi-useful advice. Namaste.